very nervous. It's not natural to me, but it will be natural the more that I do it. She's a big girl. Okay, I'm back with another vlog. I'm starting this one off with a little grocery haul because I went to Jumbo just down the street a few blocks away from where I'm staying in Amsterdam, and I thought I would share what I got. Lately I've been very excited about grocery shopping because it's in a different country. Everything about it feels different to me, even though it's just the same process of picking up food, putting it in a basket and paying for it and taking it home. But everything is packaged differently, and that always gets me a little bit because I love packaging. I've been kind of wanting something to drink in the evenings that's not alcohol because I'm really not a big fan of alcohol and how it makes me feel. So I had the idea to pick up some ginger ale. It feels like a little something special, almost like a drink would be, but it's not. I think that will be really fun to do. Make it feel like it's a drink and put ice cubes in a wine glass and some ginger ale, so that will be fun. I got some organic lemons because I have lemon water every morning, so that will last me 4 days precisely. To treat myself, I got 2 juices. One of them is pineapple, melon, mango, and passion fruit. That looks so good. And then this one also looked really appealing. It's almost more of a smoothie, slightly thicker smoothie consistency. And this one has avocado, spinach, cucumber, apple, and pear. So yes. And then I'm gonna try this coconut, which looks so cool. I love the flavor of coconut, but it's always really difficult getting it at home. It's never quite ripe, like it's not good getting it in the US where I live necessarily, so this is fun. I'm really excited for this. That's it. Okay, one more thing I forgot to mention. I got this La Roche-Posay spring water, and I went through a whole bottle of this back at home. I think I must have bought it when, actually I don't know when I bought it. Probably several years ago, and then over the course of time I just used it up slowly, doing it over makeup, doing it as part of my skincare. But I ran out of it back at home before I left for my trip, and I had the intention to go buy it here. This made my skin, it just like healed all my acne. It healed like the dryness I was experiencing during winter. So I'm really into it, and I'm definitely craving more of that feeling. So yes, I'm very excited about this. I actually used it today on top of my powder while I was doing my makeup, and I think it makes my skin look very fresh and glowy. So I just read this post by a woman named Lucy. It says, "Text me when you get home." And it's about the woman who recently disappeared. Her name is Sarah Everard. I believe it was in the UK. I literally just learned about it, and I nearly started crying. It was quite emotional to read, and it's another incident where a woman disappeared on her way home, and whether it was done by a man or a woman, we can't know for sure. There are some pretty alarming statistics that a majority of abductions are done by men, and a majority of rapes are done by men, and all these different statistics. And reading through this post, Lucy says, I've had conversations about how being hyper conscious of our safety is just something we've done throughout our entire lives. We have all shared our live locations. We have all changed our shoes. We have all held our keys between our fingers. We have all made phone calls, both real and fake. We have all tucked our hair inside our coats. We have all theorized our escape routes. I wish more men understood the fact that we cannot walk alone at night with headphones in, that whenever we get in Ubers, there's the lingering thought that this could be it, and that whenever you say they're just being friendly, you are part of the problem. This is such an enormous thing that you can't even begin to discuss it by saying, yeah, it's a bad problem and it's a big deal and oh well, it sucks, because not much can be done about it. And I don't feel very much power to do anything about it. And I resonate with those things so strongly, and I always ask my girlfriends to text me when they get home, and I always text my boyfriend when I get home, so it's a very real thing. And I've definitely grown up with this fear of men and this fear of men doing bad things to me. And I think a lot of women could relate to that, unfortunately, and I wish so strongly that it wasn't that way. And I've seen so many posts on Instagram of like things women would do if men didn't exist for 24 hours, and a lot of them are very simple things that we should be able to do anyways. To go for a long night walk with headphones in and like not have a worry in the world that something could happen to you. I think no matter what, we're all going to keep an eye on ourselves and be conscious of what could be a safety concern when we're out and about, right? Like, I think it's just common sense to just like be careful naturally, but things like walking around with no bra, like I feel terrified to do that. And I think for that reason, it's also just difficult to make male friends. That's not something I was really raised with, and it's not something I did in college. So I now, as a 25-year-old, I have a really hard time making friends in the first place, but also making friends with males. And it's because I fear that there could be bad intentions there. So basically what comes of all this, with connecting with other women and, you know, online and offline, and knowing that a huge majority of us, probably all of us if I was to guess, have at some point felt threatened by men somehow, indirectly or directly, or things have happened to us, or it's like this background feeling whenever we go outside to do anything. And in order for that not to be a thing, it has to be taught to men when they're really young. I haven't really spoken out about issues like these before, and I think for most of my life I just was accepting that that's the way it is and just dealing with it, because it takes a long time for things to change, for mentalities to change, for attitudes to change, and I don't think this is an issue that will go away very quickly, unfortunately. But I think that that's something that I'm thinking about for my future when I have children, and if I end up having a boy, that there needs to be this base foundational understanding of how to interact with the world and how to interact with women, and like developing that from a very young age so that it's just natural, because it should be natural. It's a really real problem, and it's one that becomes ingrained in every woman's being. This is really difficult to word, and it's difficult to know what commentary to make on this because it's such a vast umbrella issue, just like humongous, and it's impossible to know how to inspire change or what the goal of this conversation is, but I think, as Lucy put it in her Instagram post, she had finished saying that men need to just stop harassing women and victim blaming women and making their feelings invalid, because if you ever come home to your father, your boyfriend, your brother, and say, there was this creepy guy staring at me on the street and I felt really uncomfortable and unsafe, even though nothing happened, maybe, you know, but if you got that gut feeling, which I believe you should always trust, and then, you know, that male figure at home that you're talking to just says, oh, it's probably nothing, that is not okay. It's not okay either. I guess the first thing that can be done is open up a conversation with any male that you know that you feel safe talking to, and enlighten them on how you feel and just see where that goes. Conversation is a very powerful thing, right? So, okay, that's all I can say. Sometimes you need to put on a face mask to feel normal again. Today I woke up feeling so awful. I just gave myself time to relax in the morning. Thank goodness for this time difference, because Seattle has not even woken up yet, and therefore like no one's emailing me, no one's even awake, so I don't really feel the huge pressure to start being productive and doing a ton of homework right off the bat like I usually do. So instead this morning I read for an hour. I've been coming back to this book like every half an hour throughout the day, and it's just so fun. It's so good. I have very little left, which makes me sad because I only brought 6 books with me to Amsterdam, but since I might be here for many months, I wanted to make sure I was covered. So anyways, yeah, this morning was slow. I watched some videos from one of my favorite YouTubers lately. Her name is Jenny. I'm obsessed with her and her amazing personality, and she's just so encouraging, like, to be yourself. But now I'm gonna organize my week. This is typically how week organization looks. And you can see like previous weeks, super busy, especially when school was like, you know, right in the thick of things. And yeah, so anyways, things are looking a bit emptier now. I rely on my planner so much and I love that thing to death, and I will probably be planning my days to the day I die because I just love it so much and it makes me feel put together and like I've actually got a grasp on my life, and when things are on paper they're more likely to get done in my experience. So yes. Oh my god. How do I even do this?